Welcome to Tangle 17. Today we introduce two of the biggest players on our stage, Selenium and React. So all in the service of completing this story where we have an app skeleton. So first we'll start with our feature class that implements this Gherkin. I just noticed that I need to put another subdirectory here. So now I can click this and do create all step definitions. I'm going to create a new file. It's going to be BF template feature. And let's say don't ask again. So first we need to add Selenium for Java. And we're going to make a test scope. Click the M. In my source test util directory here, I'm going to create a utility class called BF Selenium. Selenium needs to initialize something called WebDriver, which is going to be used for all the tests. So I'm going to make a static class that keeps it and serves it up. Here you have two static methods. One of them that gets the driver, and if it doesn't find one that's already been initialized, then it initializes it. Now, whenever you init something, it's always good to shut it down as well. Now for the hard part, finding the right Chrome options. Well, so much for cheating off of the internet. Let's just look at the actual docs. All right, this looks like the official stuff. All right, we'll start with this one. All right, I'm just going to do this one here. And we'll see if that gets us where we want to go. Back to the feature class. And we're going to start with a convenience class. And then I can just use driver like this. Believe it or not, that's all you need. And then most of Selenium is this by. You have different things that you can search for. So you can see I'm looking for an ID here. So I'm going to import this class and then by this ID. Just call it PID. Now the next one is one of these get text things. So no, actually this is backwards. I need to search for this text. So let's see what we can do. By partial link text. That's pretty nice. User clicks link with text. So it's going to be the same thing as this, except I'm going to do web element. And click. So you get the element and then click the element. All right, I'm going to do another one of these. And then the by is going to be different. So I don't really know what to do here. You could always do CSS selector. Tag name might be a header. All right, I'm going to just do tag name. And so I'm going to decide arbitrarily that I'm going to use, let's try an H1 for the header. And so I'm going to get the text for it. And then assert. And then clicks link with ID. So this is pretty much the same as this one, except it's D instead of. All right, and let me explain it. So you can see that these tests are very short. So the first one here, user navigates to, we have a URL, and then you simply get this. And this runs Selenium. More specifically, it runs WebDriver, which is a tool within Selenium. And it runs an actual browser, a Chrome browser, under the hood, and it opens it up. So the next thing it does is, now that we have a browser open, we can query what's known as the DOM elements, document object model. And so we find an element and find it by the ID. So we're looking for any element with this particular ID. And so we do the find, and then we assert that it's not null. So we actually find it. Next up is almost the same thing, but now we're looking for link text, specifically text that's within a hyperlink. Down here, we do the same thing, but now we're going to click that thing we found. And here we're doing the same thing, only now we're looking for a specific HTML tag, which in this case is H1. We get the text for it, and we make sure that it has a substring in here which matches. And then down here, this is the same thing as the one before, except now instead of the link text, we're going by the ID, the HTML element ID, and clicking it. So let's run these, knowing full well that they're all going to fail. So I'm just going to run debug, and we have some miraculous failure. So connection refused. That's not surprising. Let's dive right into React. First thing we want to open up is the index.js file. This is your primary React file in your app. We're going to use a library called React Router. Just like it sounds, this routes workflow from page to page or view to view within React, and it's kind of the core part of the skeleton. So I'm going to search for React Router, and here's the home. Create browser router. This is the main thing I need. So we're going to import create browser router and router provider from this package. We're going to need to npm install this replaces this. We're not going to use these loaders. I'm going to change this to about, and I'm going to add a couple more episodes. Actually, let's put the prefix here. And I'm going to create a directory within source, which I'm going to call views. So it's going to be the different views. And the parent view is going to be the one that is containing everything else. So this is the default format for any React component. Let me turn off IntelliJ's helpful hints here. It's putting all this type information, which is obscuring the code. These are called inlay hints, and you can turn them off. Now it's just the code. This is the part where most people who have been programming for a while will get a little confused. I'm putting HTML in JavaScript. This is called JSX. This is what React is built on. This is perfectly valid. And I'm going to copy and paste this now to my other pages. And then go back to index.js. And we need to import all of these now. Oh, I have to change the name of each one up here. All right, that should work. Let's go back here. Now I can import them. And let's make this a little cleaner. Now the last thing I need to do to wire all this up, the parent is special because it includes everything else. So I need to put something special here called an outlet. And you can see it comes from React Router, and let's just leave it like that. And let's change the colors so that you can see the different pieces of this. So just to review everything that's been done, we have an index.js file that creates a router which has a path of the home and then an element of BF parent, and then this has children with paths about, episodes, sign up, login, and then these elements or components. And then this whole thing is being used in this tag here. And then React is going to basically inject this into the HTML root, which is right here. So let's try it out. Okay, it's not finding things. You know, it's possible. Let me make these JS files instead of JSX files. That did it. Let's try running it. React is not defined. And this is in BF parent. We have to import React for all of these. Notice how it compiled it automatically again. So let's see if it did anything. And it's showing exactly nothing because the parent page doesn't actually have anything in it. You can see it just has a div. I can make this more obvious if I put border and some padding. And so let's go to the about page, and then you can see here. I should put full padding. You can see that the outer is the parent and the inner is about. And this works for episodes, which is purple, sign up, and log in. Let's go back to the index.js file. And for about, I'm going to just make it the root. And that way, if you go to 3000 by itself, it should pull up about. One thing that's really nice about this is whenever I make a change while this is running, it automatically compiles everything and reloads things. So I can do this side by side if I go like this and choose this. And let's go to parent. And then so, for example, if I wanted to change the outer to purple, then I click over here and it just shows. So it's really easy to see. So if I go to the about page and then decide that I want to have a little padding around everything and click it, and there you can see it right away. So you can just keep going back and forth styling things. And this is all because of Webpack and because of Tailwind. This stuff is Tailwind. So let's go back to our Gherkin file and see where we're going. So you can see that you want to open the website, and then you want to find something with an ID of app title. Well, this belongs in the parent. Let's put, all right, so that should satisfy it. Let's keep going back. And it contains a link with the text login. All right, so let's just put a bunch of links in here. We'll make a nicer nav when I do the template, but right now let's just put some links in. And see if this works. Let's make a div around the outlet. Let's see if the links work. Episodes, sign up, login, about. All right, this is good enough. We're going to change all of this. Now for my Gherkin to work, I need to make these not P's, but H1s. Okay, let's see if the Gherkin works. First, I'm going to get rid of this, and let's open up the feature file and the feature class. Let's put breakpoints to make sure that everything gets called. First, I'm going to run the Spring server and then the feature file. All right, we made it to the first line, hit F9. That worked, hit F9 again. Good. Looking good. And a failure. And glorious failure. And I'll fix these in the next episode. I think I know what it is. Thanks for listening.